right, time to get fired up with Cole Cubelic. We're talking about Alabama-Auburn, this football game. You know, a lot of people want to know what went wrong. What caused this Alabama team to fall to Auburn, the #1 team in the country? And, you know, there's a lot of fans, a lot of blogs, a lot of threads. You read these comments that come down from fans. You do really well with reading these comments.
I don't read
and responding.
blogs or comments. Message boards, maybe.
Okay, message boards, whatever. But no. Twitter, you read Twitter because you are great at responding to these guys. You do a good job. You keep your cool most of the time. When you look at this and what everybody's talking about, Jalen Hurts, a lot of people want to point to Jalen Hurts. Oh, put him on the bench, put him on the bench. Was it Jalen Hurts? I mean, come on.
Well, I'll start by saying this. There is no one individual that loses a football game. There is no one or even 2, 3 plays that lose a football game. We've had this conversation before. If you go back to the beginning of the season, Nick Saban and Brian Daboll built this offense around Jalen Hurts and his strengths. I think they realized early on we have an elite runner in the backfield, someone who is durable enough to be able to take the pounding, to run the football 12, 15, 18 times a game and get away with it. Not a lot of teams have a quarterback that can do that, that's capable of that. And probably understanding that passing accuracy is not going to be something that we're going to be able to lean on really at any point during the season. But it's a give and a take in almost every offense. Auburn's not going out and running Jared Stidham 15 times a game. They know he's not that kind of a guy, especially not between the tackles. This game was not on Jalen Hurts. I don't even think this game was on the plan that Brian Daboll put in place. This game came down to execution. And the reality is more Auburn players made more plays than Alabama players. And you can talk about Hurts, you can talk about the amount of carries for each tailback, the yards per carry that the tailbacks had combined. It doesn't matter because the execution wasn't consistent enough to allow Alabama to go out and win. More important than that, Kevin Steele deserves credit for the plan that he put together defensively. Right. And the Auburn defensive players deserve credit for going out and making plays and playing fundamentally sound
So do you think
defense.
Sometimes it's hard for Alabama fans maybe to admit that Auburn
I can't speak for Alabama fans because I've never been one. The reality is when you lose a game and people are upset and it hurts your feelings, you want to try to find a way to place blame and you want to point fingers. But that's the great thing about football. It's a team game. It's a team sport. No individuals win and lose football games. So Jalen Hurts is 25-2 as a starting quarterback at Alabama. And you can have the get off my lawn people come in here and say wins and losses are not a quarterback stat. Whatever. We've only judged quarterbacks by wins and losses for what, 250 years? So I mean, I don't understand why now all of a sudden we don't want to give quarterbacks credit for wins and losses. The kid is a leader. He has great demeanor. And if you go, how is it Jalen Hurts' fault that you have a clip on a screenplay that's going to result in a first down, or you drop a hold on a field goal attempt, or you have bad snaps? And I don't understand how you can continuously try and point the finger at one guy, especially when he's been that good in so many other instances. It's just not a real thing. And that run game was built around his ability to run. So when you see perimeter runs that go and are successful, what people don't see and understand is a lot of times because you have the option read, I mean, it's a read option offense, it's essentially what it is, that you have to respect the run of the quarterback keeping the football in between the tackles. And Alabama could not run the football between the tackles early. They were running the 6-man boxes and couldn't find success. Now, I went back and counted 10 run plays with a defensive box of 6 players or less, and Alabama accounted for 21 rush yards in those plays in that game. That's the basis of your offense. That's where you build your offense. That's where play action comes from. Right. That's where bootlegs, rollouts, sprint outs, read option, going to the perimeter, everything, it all starts there. And if you can't make that happen, you need to get away from your plan. And that's why I think things looked a little bit different than maybe some other game plans had this season. Brian Daboll knows how to call plays. Jalen Hurts knows how to play quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a great college football player. And to try and blame it on one individual based on the amount of mistakes and the amount of lack of execution in that game, it's just dumb.
And Jalen Hurts has been that good since he started at Alabama last year and obviously has shown great progression